You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Sunday the 25th of May, 2025. It is 66 days after the spring equinox. It is 26 days before the summer solstice. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 6th day of Prairial, the day of the Mélisse, the lemon balm. The sun rises today at 5:30 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:53 p.m. The sun sets today at 8:16 p.m. Civil twilight ends today at 8:48 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 9:28 p.m. The length of daytime today is 1 minute, 31 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waning crescent phase and is 3% full at midday. The moon will reach its monthly perigee at 9:37 p.m. today. The new moon will arrive tomorrow. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, low tide, 3:10 a.m., 3 centimeters. In the morning, high tide, 9:26 a.m., 1 meter 58. In the afternoon, low tide, 3:14 p.m., 12 centimeters. At night, high tide, 9:44 p.m., 1 meter 98. In our shared realm of plants and animals, European starlings are so abundant across North America, one might almost consider them native. The small, dark birds with iridescent feathers flock in all our local parks. By this time of year, they have lost their winter white spots through a process called wear molt, in which the white tips of their new autumn feathers have simply worn away over the course of the winter. They are, of course, not of North American origin. They were intentionally released in Central Park in the 1890s by a group who wished our continent to have all the birds mentioned in Shakespeare. 20 million starlings live with us now, spread from Mexico to Canada and from coast to coast. Commemorations. The first recorded human sighting of Halley's Comet took place on this day in the year 240 BCE. It is noted in the Chinese chronicle Records of the Grand Historian, written by Sima Qian, about 150 years after the event. On this day in 1738, the Cono-Jocular War between Pennsylvania and Maryland was ended by the signing of a treaty. A boundary dispute between what were then two colonies of England had erupted into open warfare. The treaty led to an exchange of war prisoners and the tentative settlement of the position of their mutual border. On this day in 1842, Christian Doppler presented a paper to the Royal Bohemian Society in Prague. His treatise, Über das farbige Licht der Doppelsterne und einiger anderer Gestirne des Himmels, or On the Colored Light of the Binary Stars and Some Other Stars of the Heavens, described the phenomenon that would become to be named after him, the Doppler effect. On this day in 1961, President John F. Kennedy gave his address to a special joint session of Congress. He said, "I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth." The Apollo program was born. On this day in 1963, the Organization of African Unity was established in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, by 32 African states. Its aim was to bring African states together so they could cooperate in the independent development of their continent. The OAU lasted until 2002, when it was dissolved, and its successor body, the African Union, took its place. Today is the 5th anniversary of George Floyd's murder by a police officer in Minneapolis. As he was slowly asphyxiated, he uttered the words, "I can't breathe," which has become a rallying cry for those who struggle for radical reform in how we are policed and who continue to address racial injustice. Today we wish a happy birthday to Jamaica Kincaid, born on this day in 1949 in Antigua, in the Caribbean. She is a novelist, short story writer, and essayist. She is also a keen gardener, and her writings on gardening reflect her anti-colonial perspective. She once wrote, "Gardening is really an extended form of reading, of history and philosophy. The garden itself has become like writing a book. I walk around and walk around. Apparently, people often see me standing there, and they wave to me, and I don't see them because I am reading the landscape." Happy birthday, Jamaica Kincaid. And that is the Observatory, Sunday the 25th of May, 2025.